Is up 2 years, man. Incredible journey, incredible ride. So happy for you. I know so many NBA Top Shot fans have watched your content over the last 2 years. I've been on your show a couple of times talking about NBA Top Shot and the comings and goings of what's going on in the community. And I just want to say congratulations to you. Congratulations to all the people that tune in to all your content that you put together. I know it's a ton of work. I know you love doing it. And I just want to say congrats again on 2 years, and here's to many more. I'll be watching.
Happy 2-year Tandy time. I'm recording this in the darkness because that's how I like to watch the show, is in complete darkness. 2 years ago, you started doing streaming, and ever since then, my account valuation has gone to
really well.
So I don't know if there's a correlation there, but I'll keep watching, making sure to pick up for some good trading decisions that you have to offer. Happy 2 years.
I am an OnlyTan because of the balanced content that he has provided us with for the past 2 years. Thank you for being consistent. Thank you for having amazing guests, and a big shout out to your wife for allowing you to stream every week from that room. Have a wonderful day and happy 2 years.
Tandy, man, congratulations, 2 years. You've been holding it down. The place to turn to for any Top Shot related content. We know there's drama, we know there's excitement, we know there's hoops, and we go to Tandy. I'm an OnlyTan. 2 years in, let's keep it going, buddy. Keep going, you're on your way.
What's up, Tandy? Congratulations on 2 years of streaming, but don't forget, we're still in beta.
Hey Tandy, congrats on 2 years. Yoda here. You've lasted 1,000 times longer than most NFT projects, which is saying something. Look forward to many years ahead, especially when Top Shot runs.
Congrats, Tandy, man. 2 years in NFTs is equivalent to 20 years IRL in real life. So much has happened since you began Tandy Time. You made another human. You've kept up your stream even as many others have rage quit the space. Tandy, you've even outlived Twitter. You've had amazing guests, superior duck races, you commentated the NFT All-Star Game, you provided hours and hours of entertainment to the community. You are a kind, special human, Tandy, and on behalf of the OnlyTans, the Tandalorians, and the Tandy Lions, I want to say, keep streaming, keep ranting, and remember, it's only been 2 years, we're still so early.
Hey, Tandy, reporting to you from the Jurassic Park area in front of Scotiabank Arena here in Toronto. I wanted to wish you a happy 2-year anniversary on Tandy Time. Here's to 22 more years of Tandy Time. It's always a pleasure watching. Great show, great guests. Keep up the great work. Cheers.
Happy Tandiversary, Tandy. Congratulations on 2 years. I always appreciate your perfect balance of positivity with just the right amount of FUD. And as always, community.
Tandy, my friend, 2 years, and that's dedication, bro. But I digress. You know, Tandy, in this steaming cesspool of
attending live games, fun pack rips, Team Discord merchandise,
collecting and connecting, angst pillows, bad trading decisions, dog catchers, text AMAs, Knicks fans, and the like, you've always been our true North Star of humility, integrity, and decency. Congratulations on 2 years, my friend.
Tandy man, happy 2-year anniversary. Together, we brought the world together. And now we made waves that are rippled for your pleasure.
Tandy, happy 2 years, my friend. I frankly don't know how you do it, and
you are so smart and entertaining, and I really like watching the stream.
But congratulations, man. That takes some real determination.
Happy birthday to Tandy Man. Happy birthday to Tandy Man. Happy MNFing birthday, dear Tandy Man. Thank you for giving us a place to degen.
What is going on, everybody? We got a special show this year. I actually remembered when it was our anniversary of the stream, so we're very happy about that. And we have a special guest today. We have PACKRIP Ewing, aka Sean Friedland from Dapper Labs Marketing, and we are happy to have him here. And not only that, but it's a very special event, and we are going to be giving away some packs today, some nice packs. But if you are watching this on replay, I actually made a decision that one of the packs, the Tipoff XL, we're going to give away to someone who watches on replay, someone who can't make it live, because I know not everyone can make it live. There's many people who watch on the replay. So if that's you, if you're listening on replay, or if you're listening on the podcast version, just comment on the YouTube video and you'll be eligible. And that includes everyone here as well. If you want to win that Tipoff XL, all you have to do is just comment under the video and you will be eligible. Otherwise, the other 3 packs are fair game. So, as you can see, I was kind of running all over the house to get ready. Let me get my headphones in. Okay, we got our headphones in. And so we have our guest today, PACKRIP Ewing, Sean. And let's bring him in. Let's give him a little Kawhi laugh.
Oh, wow. Tandy. Honored and humbled to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad you could make it. And thank you for being here. And thank you for making this even more exciting for the loyal chat. It's really nice of you. And it's interesting, too, because the last time we talked, I think that was probably about 1.5 years ago or something like that. And that was literally, I think, a week before you joined the place in Dapper Labs in Top Shot. So I'm sure you've been through a lot. I'm sure you've been learning a lot. And I think that's what this chat's interested in. I mean, we definitely want to talk about, just like all the good stuff that we have to look forward to and the good stuff that has happened recently. But we also want to peek under the rocks and look at the bugs. So whatever bugs you can show us.
Oh boy. Well, I don't know what rocks we're gonna flip, but I'm a little bit scared now. I don't know if I should be honored that I was invited to join or insulted that I wasn't invited to participate in the opening intro video. So many friendly faces sharing their love for the Tandy man. There are a lot of OnlyTans out here. I remember before the OnlyTans era. I remember before the live stream era. The real Tandy heads go back to the 90-second Twitter videos with arguably the greatest, PowerPoint Photoshop effects of all time. That was the real OG Tandy era.
I know. I appreciate that. And that was a time when I basically took on an approach of just like overwhelming the audience with content. So for anyone who ever wants to create content, and you might have some instinct there as well, because you also launched something that was very successful when you were doing your PACKRIP media stuff. But that was my strategy. I was like, I'm just going to make videos every single day. I think it was for 2 or 3 weeks, put a lot of time into them. And so that's how it happened. So now I basically stream. It kind of takes the same amount of time. It's like 1.5 hours or something on average, but instead of a 90-second product, it's 1.5 hours. So that's the difference.
Overwhelming people with information, trying to make that information as complex as possible and really difficult to digest has been a staple of my life for the past, year or two. And I'm happy to keep that going.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Boston based, I did not play your video. It's just that I have some more that I got in the holster. I have a few more that I'm going to play during the stream. So don't worry about it. If you sent a video in, I haven't shown it, I will show it. So don't worry. All right. So where should we begin, Sean? I feel like we could go in so many different ways. I find it interesting, though, that you're on the marketing department of Top Shot, which is it's like a constantly evolving, constantly moving, probably pretty challenging task. And I'm wondering, how has that been over the last 1.5 years or however long it's been? Like, what have you taken overall? And then we can kind of get more specific in what did you take from the last series?
Yeah, it's a great question. Nice evergreen intro to this probably eventually more and more probing conversation that will make me deeply uncomfortable. Yeah, when I joined, pretty much they were just write blogs and send emails. And, I still have the honor and privilege of doing that, but have gradually kind of taken more responsibility and gotten to do more things across the marketing, across different, kind of responsibilities around planning events, planning campaigns, planning leaderboards, things like that with other colleagues, of course. When marketing is kind of the classic Dapper refrain from the community, of course, certainly one that we've all made, one that I've made before joining. And, a lot of people think of marketing as like, let's just spend money on a commercial, spend money on advertising, spend money on a lot of things. Marketing and spending is obviously very naturally kind of like correlated and, a huge part of any marketing or advertising campaign or department or major initiative. But marketing is also like the daily email and the push notification and the blog and the graphics and all the little things that go into every public facing message that gets delivered across every channel that Top Shot has, which could be a lot, right? I mean, between social and email and the web and the app, there are a lot of different touch points, a lot of different things to be conscious of. The homepage, logged in homepage, logged out homepage. So like, marketing isn't just let's spend money to make sure more people see this thing, or let's spend money to do this really cool, exciting event that may or may not, drive thousands of people to sign up. But, there's been a lot of everything, anything under the sun that you can imagine. I've had the opportunity to do or not do. I think that, when I first joined Top Shot, my first day, I wrote a blog about it because it was fun. They were like, it's like, oh, we're working with Kevin Durant. Oh, we're working with Klay Thompson. Oh, we're doing this and that. And, all of those things had positives and probably some negatives too, and worked to some extent and had their own flaws in other areas. And, it's been a journey to say the least, in many ways. Being a Top Shot collector is a very time consuming endeavor, and a week in Top Shot feels like a month in real life or even a year in real life. And, being part of the Top Shot team is also like a very transformative time bending experience where sometimes you look back and you're like, how did we do all of that in a week? And then it's also like, why did we do all of that in a week? That was a lot of stuff. But it's been a lot of fun for sure. And a lot of work, but no regrets, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot of variety. And that reminds me of like one of my favorite jobs of all time. I worked at a hotel in Cape Cod, and every day was different because I was a bellman, I was a security guard, and I was a shuttle driver. So every day was something new. And I actually met Jason something or other from ESPN, the baseball reporter. So that was fun. But anyhow, that, as an aside, when you look at some of these really big activations and some of these other maybe broader marketing plays, does anything stick out where it's like, oh, that was really interesting because that was, I don't know, like that's like was a much better bang for our buck than we could have expected? Or maybe that's also kind of hard to measure, but do you know what I'm getting at? Was there anything that was maybe surprising that you guys did that felt, wow, that was pretty effective, that maybe we didn't expect that it was going to be effective?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think that there have been things that have naturally been effective, like the KD campaign, right? Or the Klay Thompson campaign. When we do big splashy stuff like that, it always naturally drives a ton of new people to the website. But the effectiveness of that could really be analyzed by like the lifetime value or how long those people stick around for, right? And if they come and if they join a drop and they buy it, they're like, you know what, this isn't really for me, or maybe I didn't really get what I wanted, or I didn't really like that experience, or I lost a few bucks because of what I pulled in my pack, and they go away. Ultimately that's kind of like a bit of a waste, right? Because anytime you work with an athlete or do something that large scale, it's a pretty big endeavor. I think that there are a lot of smaller things that we've done, whether it be app drops and just in general, obviously every app drop is its own little beast and kind of some are more effective than others. But when we look at the app, we can see that like people that have the app on their phone stick around longer than people that don't have the app on their phone. Just downloading the app and the act of driving app downloads and getting people to buy a pack in the app has like 3 to 4x higher retention rates than someone that doesn't have the app, if you're talking about like marketing.
That's
so
cool.
For us, it's like, all right, cool, right? Like we could do really small things in the app, get people to download the app. Hopefully they have a positive experience. And we know that when they have the app on their phone, the likelihood of them becoming like a collector for the next 30 or 60 or 90 days increases. And that's really great. A lot of the cardboard collectible events that we did earlier in the year, we thought that would work really well. I was responsible for a lot of that. I thought it would work really well. We went to Mint Collective. We didn't go to the National. We tried to go to the National. We couldn't get a table. I'm sure if we tried a little bit harder, maybe we could have. But, we didn't end up at the National. We ended up at Mint Collective. And we were like, you know what? We'll show up at these events and we'll speak with collectors and we'll give them a free moment, or maybe a free pack, and we'll show them the product. And a lot of them are like, this is really cool. I really like this. And then when you look at the data, a lot of them don't really stick around. And, you know, like, that's the reality. And if that means like, maybe we shouldn't focus on these people right now, or maybe we need to rethink why they're not hanging out and buying more packs or shopping in the marketplace. You know, a lot of things that seem intuitively obvious, like this should work or we should do this. You know, whether it's an execution challenge or whether it's just the reality of like where they are in their collectible journey, maybe they just aren't really ready for digital yet. You know, there's a lot of stuff that is intuitive and maybe isn't as effective as you think. And there's a lot of stuff that is expensive and kind of like successful in a very superficial way, but ultimately doesn't drive a ton of lifetime value, which is also kind of not really, you know, successful when on the deep end. So
right. This is probably more challenging than it seems in my head. But so part of my thinking, I've been thinking about this lately, actually, with this thing about the national, and did Top Shot think about maybe sponsoring a deodorant company and then like handing it out to everyone in the room? No, just kidding. But like, but like, I think that there's something about like the physical collector where they're just very much like ingrained in their ways. It's almost like a religious experience, you know. It's almost like the physical collector, that's like their religion in a way. That's how I kind of see it. And I wondered out loud, have you guys ever considered finding like a physical card company that maybe doesn't care too much about the digital footprint and being like, hey, could we perhaps scratch each other's back? Like, could we do something where we could offer something really cool physically on our platform? So that could be part of our packs, maybe once in a while, someone pulls some like a signature card because we have a partnership with XYZ physical brand, and then they would do the same back. So like you could rip some cool legendary thing in a physical card that's a redemption back to Top Shot. Have you ever thought about like cross-pollinating like that?
yeah, we have. We've had some of those conversations. Ultimately, none of them came to life. I think that anytime we want to do something of that nature, there's a layer of partnership that requires like a lot of long-term planning, conversation, collaboration. Sometimes it's like easier in theory than it is in practice. I'm hopeful that eventually we'll get there and like we'll have the discipline and kind of like bandwidth and prioritization to like make that a reality for Series 5. I think that, you know, in Series 4, we did get to do a lot of really cool collaborations that I was proud of, whether it be, you know, NBA Jam and Mitchell and Ness around leaderboards that we did for All-Star. You know, obviously homage with the t-shirts, which I was really proud of. Whether or not you love the design of those t-shirts, I thought it was really cool that we got to create t-shirts with an NBA partner and give those away for free, and, you know, give 2,500 collectors t-shirts. We did a bunch of tickets to the playoffs, right? We did a lot of cool partnership stuff through leaderboard prizing that we typically hadn't done. You know, I always thought, I think a lot of people thought like, oh, cool, I'd love to win NBA Jam arcade machines, right? Like that naturally, you know, we did that. So like we did do a lot of smaller things that I think resonated with existing collectors, but whether or not those were mainstream enough or compelling enough or accessible enough for someone new is a different story. I do think that we're starting to find our footing a little bit and think through how we get those things in the hands of new people, but also, you know, the flip side of that conversation is, do you want someone to create a Top Shot account because they're going to win something that has nothing to do with Top Shot, right? And they're really only here for the free thing, and then they leave, and then you kind of wasted the money, and it wasn't really an effective strategy. So I think there's that too. I think that's with any brand, you know, that's not just Top Shot. It's you know, any company that's kind of drawing people to their product for the wrong reasons might not necessarily be attracting the highest lifetime value customer or collector. They're just going to bring someone that's there for that free thing, and then they're going to leave. So I think there's always a delicate balance there, but I do think that the idea of like redemptions and packs is something that we spoke about when especially obviously when we did redemptions for the playoffs. We were like, what if you could redeem tickets when you open this? And, you know, then you start working through the logistics and the details and the practicalities of it and the operational things. And like, okay, it's not really doable right now, but I do think that over time, you know, especially as we look ahead to like Series 5 and start planning and continue to plan for that, thinking through like, all right, who are the NBA partners? What partnerships can we tap into with the league already? And then how can we fold those into product experiences that make sense for collectors in a way that doesn't like detract from the core product or make it just like the sweepstakes thing that people come and go for?
Yeah. And I will say also that the way that the product seems to be evolving, in my opinion, with these new pages where it shows you what you've collected, just with the design of the app, it does seem like the focus is becoming more and more on collecting to collect. Like it's collecting because it's a collectible, which somehow feels different. That might not make sense the way it's said, but it does kind of feel that way. By the way, you gave me an excuse to use the t-shirt drop, so I got to use it.
Beautiful. Love it. Thank you for that.
Yes, definitely. Anyway, so I definitely want to continue though about talking about a little bit about S5, about redemptions, but I want to keep Boston Base happy. So I'm going to show his little package. It's Boston Base, a couple other people. So let's play that.
I'm an OnlyTan because I only subscribe to the absolute best, only the best on OnlyTans.
Hey, yo! It's your boy Kanye, not the West Man, but East Man. Hey, yo, congratulations to Tandy, man! 2 years of streaming NBA content. 2 years! Hey, yo, your boy Boston Base loves tuning in and talking more. Yo, big ups. Yo, you're going to be a champion just like your boy Kanye. For real!
All right.
I'm a little afraid, kind of entertained, a little confused, but that was great.
Yeah. Also, we have some very generous people in the chat. So thank you very much, Jump Shoot. He sang a very lovely happy birthday song at the beginning there. Also, there's Boston Base and also got Budwin with probably my favorite video so far had to been his with the beta and the brick off the side of the rim. That was definitely great.
Tandy, are you obligated to like eat ice cream and purr at the screen when people tip you like that, or is this just for fun?
That's a great idea. If I had some ice cream, I would definitely be purring. But yeah, I did that. I think it might have been for Jump Shoot as well. Yeah, it is. That is wild. I mean, as like a little tangential here, that whole thing is boggling my mind. I wonder, you're a marketing guy, so you have to think about what people are looking for and what makes them happy and such. How do you make sense of this? Because I like TikTok. I use TikTok, and everyone is doing this weird NPC thing now on TikTok and that Pinky doll is making like $7,000 a day doing this. What do you think about this? Is this the future of influencers? When we're 2 years from now, is that all I'm going to be doing?
I hope it's not what you're doing 2 years from now, for the sake of your family and for the sake of the general Top Shot content and greater sports NFT content ecosystem. Listen, I think that it's like a microcosm of all things in technology, right? You find something that works and you keep doing it until it doesn't work anymore. And whether you're a collector or a consumer or a creator or a product or a company, right? Like everything in life is trying to figure out like what works for me, like what gets me attention or engagement or money, and then just do it until it stops working, right? Or until they change the algorithm. Like the entire BuzzFeed business was built on Facebook organic reach. And they raised billions of dollars in revenue off of Facebook's algorithm until they changed it. But thankfully they went public before that. So, I think for that, it's kind of like the social media equivalent of what Uber and like DoorDash and all of these kind of like gig economy, micro kind of opportunities are, where it's just like, I could log on, I could make weird noises on a screen for my followers for 30 minutes. I could make a few bucks, and then I could go back to my day or go back to my kid or go back to work and what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I don't really know. I'm like a little bit too old to be like in the know on what works on TikTok, for better or for worse. TikTok was never really my bag, but good for her. Honestly, good for her, because she leaned into it, and I think she's making even more than she was before, and she's just going to keep, laughing her way to the bank until the kind of money train goes off the rails.
Yeah, but I imagine though the people giving her the money though are people like, not just young people. That's probably people like us as well. Like that's the part that also kind of boggles my mind, is what is it about tipping someone like $1 so that they say ice cream so good? Why is that enjoyable? That's the part I can't quite figure out. And also the other thing is, it feels very dystopian. It feels more dystopian than like Uber or DoorDash feels to me, because like those make sense. You're providing a service, you're bringing food to someone's door. I'm sure some weird stuff happens in those gig economies as well. But like, yeah, I mean, it's dystopian. I saw one video and like the person's filming their roommate or something, and she's in the corner with the ring light on and just like doing her NPC thing, and she's like, is this the future? Is this where we're going? What happened? Why are we? I don't know. Obviously, I think about this a little too much.
It definitely feels like the plot of a bad movie in many ways, and you know, I don't know if it's gonna stick around. I don't know if this is a conversation more suited for your therapist or my therapist. I think at the end of the day, right, people have money and they like to spend it on things that make them happy or give them control or whatever the case might be. And you know, people are weird, man. Like you never know where you're gonna find joy and happiness in the world. I mean, plenty of subtext to that within ourselves as well. But you know, like different strokes for different folks at the end of the day.
Fair enough. Ice cream's so good. So let's talk a little bit about S5. Also, there was a comment here from Zavala Bala about redemptions, and I also have said this in the past, which is that I really enjoyed redemptions. I thought it was so much fun because I mean, like I know that Top Shot always has this duality of like I think that the way that the platform is leaning into collectability is really good long-term for what it is. It's much better than pure speculation, which is what so much of us got drunk on and fell in love with. And now are like, you know, not happy that it's not really there anymore. But there was such an element, I thought, a familiar element combined with a really fun gamification of redemptions. And I'm curious if there's been any kind of thinking of like, how could we even use redemptions in the regular season? Is that even possible? Have you thought about this at all? Maybe that mid-season tournament is giving you an opportunity. Has there been any thinking around redemptions, and did you get as good feedback about it as like I personally feel about it?
Yeah, so I think, you know, first and foremost, the observation that in general we've been focusing more on like a fundamentally better collectible, and whether that's better edits and better moments themselves, whether that's like better mint counts that respect scarcity more, or whether that's features within your profile or within the collecting experience that kind of emphasize fundamental kind of behaviors of a collector to complete something, to own your favorite player, things like that. So definitely like at the foundation of what Top Shot is today and what it will continue to become ahead to Series 5 is like a better collectibles platform. Now, as far as redemption specifically, I also thought they were really cool. I think everyone internally was really proud of how they came out for the first time we've ever done that. And obviously the risk of like doing that around the playoffs. And I think that a lot of the data around it was very positive in terms of how many people showed up to collect redemptions and to make that part of the playoffs and to collect their favorite players. You know, I think that the one kind of main takeaway was, as cool as it was to own a redemption and to redeem a moment, and the speed at which we were able to do that, right? Like obviously look at Cardboard and people are still waiting to get redemptions that they sent in years ago. And, you know, we're able to work with the NBA and turn around a redemption within 3 or 4 days, right? That's awesome. Just the beauty of digital and the beauty of the partnership and the way we are able to work with the NBA, especially around the playoffs, together to make that possible. Now, that being said, like forgetting to redeem your redemption when your team gets eliminated and then you have the collectible, but you can't really turn it into a moment, is a bad feeling. And like something that I think a lot of people didn't like. And, you know, we tinkered with the redemption windows as the playoffs expanded to make sure that people had enough time to participate in that. But it's definitely something that looking ahead to Series 5, we're exploring in general. Like, does it make sense to do it for that in-season tournament? Or are there other things for that in-season tournament that might make sense? Do we run it back for the playoffs? Is it just part of, you know, the regular season in general where like redemptions might exist, or redemptions might exist as a reward on a leaderboard where you could redeem it for a moment from that player in the future, right? We're having these conversations and exploring like every different path and avenue. I will say nothing has been like definitively decided yet. It's only August, right? We have time to figure that out. We're obviously working on it. You know, came out of a 2-hour meeting about a lot of this stuff right before this call. Still feeling fresh though, but you know, we're thinking through all of the different use cases for all of the different things we did, whether it be leaderboards, whether it be burning, whether it be locking, whether it be set rewards, whether it be redemptions. But I think the fundamental at the core of redemptions, when you strip away like the design and the name, the ability to take a collectible and upgrade it into another collectible from that player is cool. I think that resonates with someone. And whether that's a redemption or whether that's just like a moment, and like the dynamic nature of a digital collectible being able to change or be upgraded to another collectible. That's definitely like really compelling, especially in a way that gives people collectability confidence and an ability that like also supports scarcity and kind of like not too much supply. So I think it's definitely obviously one of the biggest things that we did in Series 4. And one of the biggest unanswered questions for Series 5 is how we'll kind of run it back or evolve it. But it was definitely a really, really promising kind of new thing, and one that obviously a lot of people resonated with because it had that balance of collectability and speculation that was really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely just echo that. And also I would say that if one of the major negatives was that people were upset that they forgot to use it, I think that now as this app gets more and more used by the population of Top Shot, you'll be able to send like a bunch of reminders, be like, hey, your timer's running out here. Like, if you don't use it, this is what's going to happen. So for things like that, for getting the message across, I think that will also be great because I know that sometimes communicating how Top Shot works can probably feel pretty overwhelming for someone who doesn't understand it at all. For someone who just steps in day one and all of a sudden they open a redemption pack, it could be confusing. But I think that with the app, you can maybe get around that. And the other thing I would also say, and I'll let you go, but like you said earlier with the redemptions, one idea there, it's not as speculative, I guess, but I still think that idea, the way that you gave out like Kevin Durant signed sneakers or a signed Clyde Drexler signed jersey or whatever it was with redemptions would also be really interesting if that's something that you guys are thinking is pretty cool.
Yeah, 100%. I think there are a lot of cool opportunities to weave physical collectibles into the digital collectibles, whether it's part of a promotional thing that we do or just part of like the overall season. Whether that be tickets or whether that be jerseys or whether that be limited edition sneakers or whether that be stuff from a partner. Like I've been thinking about that for a long time. That was one of the first things that I was like, why aren't we doing more of this when I joined? And I think that's definitely part of the future of Top Shot, whether it's in September or if it's in October or if it's in July, like who knows, but it's definitely kind of the thing that we're actively thinking about and trying to bring to life. A lot of Top Shot is like, as much as the enthusiasm and ideas and passion as the community has, that also exists internally. And a lot of the time it's kind of like prioritizing the right ideas and getting them built and shipped and then like improved upon. So it's definitely a great thought and something that we're conscious of and, hopefully able to bring to life. To your point, like the app continues to get better and, in the future when there's like a marketplace in the app and when you could actually redeem within the app and when notifications are improved within the app, right? Like that app ecosystem could have so much potential to just keep people engaged and keep people, dialed into everything in a really powerful way.
Yeah. I feel like I have to, Boston Base paid to have me ask the question, when Jordan, when Kobe. I know we can't answer this, but go ahead. Answer Boston Base.
I love you, Boston Based. You're a very special collector in many ways. I don't know. Great question. I'll let you know as soon as I can.
All right, let's give a little break in the action. We got one more little video thing to share, so here we go.
What's up, everybody? This is Skeets from No Dunks. I wanted to congratulate Tandy and all the OnlyTans on 2 years of streaming. Yes, 2 years of Tandy time. That is quite the accomplishment, and it's all because of community. So congratulations, Tandy. Here's to another 2 years, another 20, another 200. I'm sure they'll just like make an AI version of you and you'll just have it running forever. Congrats. Get outside, touch some grass, touch some leaves, do whatever you got to do to enjoy this 2-year anniversary.
What up, OnlyTans? It's your boy Mike Weisberg. Just wanted to wish our guy Tandy a happy 2-year anniversary. Happy birthday, buddy.
I'm a OnlyTan because Tandy is consistent, he's dependable, he's real, and he helps me keep my emotions in check.
Tandy, you're the GOAT.
Thank you, little Curry. I appreciate that. All right, so moving right along. So we saw in the chat also that people really appreciated these burn leaderboards, which also are somewhat like what you're saying, redeeming what you already have and upgrading into something else. I think that's also been a brilliant idea. It kind of lets you get rid of the ex-girlfriends of Live Token and bring in something new. I think that's a really smart idea from like an emotional side of things. So I love that. How has that feedback gone? Can you tell us anything about how you intend to do more of that or what you've learned from that moving forward?
Yeah, big fan of burn leaderboards. I think that they've had some very promising early kind of experiences. I was proud that we were able to introduce the block through leaderboards and not just drop 1 million packs, right? I think in general, what we've seen is that like collectors are really willing and eager to participate in them, especially when the prizes are great. But also when you lose and like don't get anything, it's a pretty bad feeling, and maybe you like might not do it again. So I think ultimately for us, it's kind of like, how could we build an experience where there's some level of like safety, where if you lose, you don't get burned, pun intended. And then also, I think we did it for the Series 1 leaderboards, kind of the first instance of trying to like mitigate some of the feedback we've gotten and challenges we've seen, where it's like a little bit more of a level playing field, right? We had a Series 1 leaderboard, a Series 2 leaderboard, a Series 3 leaderboard, and a Series 4 leaderboard, where only moments from those, years could get burned. And that way, if you're a Series 4 collector and you want to participate in that and go for the prize, you don't have to worry about an early collector with a huge Series 1 stack kind of coming over the top at the last second with a huge LeBron or these bags that they've had for a while, and beating you, right? So I think that like continuing to explore ways to create an even playing field for burn leaderboards, and then continuing to like create a better collector experience where if you lose, you're not like, you're bummed you lost, but you're not also bummed that you like lost part of your collection that you didn't get anything back for. So whether that's like better prizing or different technology or like different ways of rewarding people, that's a really high priority, because burn leaderboards naturally are a great way to like reduce supply, reinforce scarcity. Even if you don't participate, but you collect the stuff that's being burned, that stuff becomes more limited edition for you. So that's like a win-win. Obviously, the ability to burn lock moments is great for people who are keeping their moments locked or locking, to have that freedom and flexibility. I think that with WNBA, we saw really positive results around the MGLE burn leaderboard that we did. So with the WNBA burn leaderboard that we did, for anyone that wasn't super tuned into that or isn't really a really deep WNBA collector, we released about 25 to 30% of our WNBA metallic gold supply exclusively through a burn leaderboard. And the only moments you could burn were previous season's WNBA MGLE moments. And what we saw was that like old WNBA MGLE is like doing well, and new WNBA MGLE is doing well. And if you were a collector of the old stuff or the new stuff, it's kind of been like a good collector experience. So I think that is like an interesting example where burning old supply of a specific set gave you content from a new set, and you were able to either upgrade your moments to the new stuff, whether you like it more because it's different players or it's a lower edition mint count, or you just didn't want to buy the packs and you'd rather kind of like essentially trade your old stuff for new stuff. That kind of like worked pretty well, I think, in the very, very small example that we did it. We did similar stuff around the NBA finals, but that wasn't limited only to previous finals content. So I think that we're going to continue to explore burn leaderboards and see how they could work in different ways, but ultimately like make sure they're also a better experience for collectors.
Okay. Yeah, I see some people talking about thresholds. I know that on some of the leaderboards you did have like, there was a much bigger number of like how low it could go. And so you knew like if you were in the bottom 2,000, 3,000, whatever it was. So that in effect was almost like a threshold. So yeah, I think that's a good idea. I was curious.
Yeah, I think I'll just quickly interject. Like,
yeah,
I love the threshold stuff. Like if you burn 1,000 Top Shot score, you're guaranteed to get a pack, or 100 Top Shot score, you're guaranteed to get a pack. Where the challenge lies in that, especially with like a new drop, is ensuring that there's actually enough inventory to fulfill the pricing, right? So like when we're using old packs and we're like, well, we have a huge amount of inventory, we know that like no matter what, we're going to have enough to cover the minimum threshold of participation. like we're good to go. And that has created like really positive collector experiences. Some of the burn leaderboards we've done where that minimum threshold existed, guaranteed reward, we've seen over 1,000 people participate, right? Like it's a safer and more fun thing, I think, in a lot of ways. And you could choose to participate, choose your own adventure in many ways with how much risk you want to incur. But I think that like with a new drop, when there's only X amount of packs, we have to guarantee that we still have some packs left over, or that we're not going to like owe more than we have to give, right? So I think the thresholds in general are a good tactic for some leaderboards, but in some ways they don't work. But I do think that that was obviously when we did those, they were pretty well received in general, for sure.
Does there exist the technology on Flow to do something almost like a blind auction where you say like, if I place, I'll burn all this stuff, but if I get beat, I won't? Could that exist?
It could exist.
Okay.
It could exist.
All right. Well, there you go. It could exist, because I think that would be an interesting way to do it. I think also that might look more intriguing earlier on, because I think the way that it's laid out right now, we're probably seeing people waiting. It's all like a game of chicken. You're all like waiting until the last second. So then it looks like, oh, there's 5 people that are doing this leaderboard. And then, 5 minutes before it's over, there's 250 or whatever the case may be. So if it was this blind auction, well, maybe at least it could show how many people have submitted or something. Maybe you don't know how much, obviously, because it's blind, but you could see like, wow, okay, 400 people all submitted their moments. And then if you don't get in the threshold, whatever, then you just get your moments back. They aren't burned.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. It's something we've discussed. We'll see if it comes to life. And to your point, like even in terms of like future leaderboards, 95% of the burning happens in the final like 5 minutes. Right. And we've seen that time and time again. And, unfortunately for many collectors, they burn early and then they watch, they think there's a degree of safety in their placement. And then ultimately they end up tuning out or maybe being asleep because, it's hard to stay up 24 hours a day if you're a Top Shot collector. And then, they end up not winning a prize. Right. So I do think that in many ways, like, does a burn leaderboard even need to be live for 3 days? Right. If we know that most of the action is going to be in the final hour, could it be shorter? Could it be more concentrated? There are so many ways to tinker and tailor with it that I think will ultimately come to life and be better for collectors. And I would expect burning and locking and burning leaderboards and locking leaderboards in various flavors with various prizes for various durations, with various degrees of accessibility and criteria to be part of Series 5 for sure. I think that's kind of pretty telegraphed in many ways.
Cool. So another question I have for you. I know you're not the challenge guy, but there's probably something related to marketing when we think about the gamification of the platform. About I think that for a lot of people, the challenges lacked something in Series 4. I think maybe they were too easy because there was a lot of accessible moments for players. Did you get that feedback? And has there been any thinking already about how we might see things a little differently moving forward?
Yeah, challenges changed for sure. And I think obviously in many ways didn't meet what a lot of collectors expected of them. I think one of the fundamental challenges with challenges, and that's a mouthful, say that 5 times fast, right? And almost kind of like the pivot to leaderboards a little bit more is whether it's like a natural collector behavior or a limitation within kind of like how we could build challenges and offer them. And granted, like this is just my perspective. It's not like, again, challenges are not my domain. When you have a challenge and there's specific criteria, you're naturally kind of gravitating towards the least expensive moments to like fulfill the criteria.
Right.
And with Top Shot score and leaderboards, if I need 100,000 Top Shot score to win, I can get there with 1 moment. I can get there with 50 moments. I can get there with 1,000 moments. I can get there with this player or that player. There's much more flexibility in a way that doesn't kind of create the wrong marketplace implications in many ways, or kind of like skew things in a way that wouldn't just be natural. So I think that like that's kind of one of the challenges with challenges is just that like when you have very, very, very defined criteria, sometimes it doesn't always work well for collectors. And then like the prizes are just new moments and you don't even want the moments. So like, I mean, challenges are not my like forte, so I'm not the right person to ask about them. And I'm probably going to get like a Slack message like you said something wrong. But
what the hell are you doing?
yeah, I think that like the beauty of the leaderboards is that rather than requiring a specific moment, it requires basically a specific amount of Top Shot score. And the way you achieve that score to unlock the reward is much more dynamic and flexible in a way that doesn't just enforce people like buying the least expensive worst thing, which isn't collectible, right? That's kind of like the wrong stuff to think about collecting in many ways.
Yeah, I think that's fair. All right, a couple more we got here. Location-based packs. That was something we saw just now. That was very cool. Pretty exciting. I think that opening it up to the general public afterward sort of took away from the luster a little bit, but I'm sure there's certain reasons for doing it that way. What can you tell us anything about how that might expand in Series 5?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a thing, right? Like, I think that in many ways, and like we didn't do it, but in many ways, the expense of being somewhere physically and like going to an IRL event versus just like, you know, we are a digital product, right? Like we could be anywhere, especially with geolocation with the app. So this idea of like, well, we could go to the National, or we could just drop like a geolocated pack in Chicago and like advertise that on social media. And I'm sure that like the number of people we sign up doing that versus being there and spending, you know, going to an event when it's all said and done between the booth and the labor and the travel and the accommodations, like it gets expensive, right? And then it's also a big loss of time on anything else you could be doing. Not to be saying we won't be in places physically, but just the beauty of a digital product is you could be anywhere very quickly. So I do think that like when you think about like fan communities and obviously 30 teams around the country, the idea of like geolocated pack drops is very exciting. You know, you're in a place, you get a push notification, you see an ad, scan a QR code, only you could have that. It's only accessible to you. Maybe that stuff is from your favorite team and not anyone else. Like, you know, it's still being kind of like built out because even that drop was what, like 3 weeks ago, right? Like that's not a lot of time. But I do think that what that could unlock for us and how it could help us, especially around like new collectors or really fun experiential stuff or really cool limited edition exclusive stuff, is definitely a high priority in my opinion.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's a great point you made, which is...
And yeah, of course, people could spoof their location, but like, you know, what percentage of people can practically spoof their location at scale in a way that's going to like compromise the integrity of a geolocated event, especially if it's not something that we're heavily marketing as like, hey, we have a geolocated pack drop in Las Vegas right now. Like, you know, eventually it won't be like that.
Okay. So what else can we discuss here? I know that one of the big things in S5 is these Wembanyama. Is there any thinking that things are going to be at all different than what we've seen in the past for the 4K rookies? Is it pretty much going to be business as usual? Maybe it's going to be a bigger marketing push. Anything you can tell us?
Nothing I could really tell you. I do think that like the Series 4 approach to rookies with like very defined kind of like numbers of moments, mint count, scarcity. I think that like making all the MGLE challenge rewards rookies worked really well for their collectability. Obviously, the player leaderboards around Rookie of the Year and first team all rookie was a really great dynamic. I think that the 4K rookies, I think in general, like dropping the supply of a player at once, which was a big kind of priority for Series 4 rookies. So all of the Paolo moments, for the most part, like 80 to 90% of them were available from November or December, and you didn't have the situation where 10% comes out and then 10% comes out, and by nature of the end of the season, like you were basically penalized for buying too early. Whereas, you know, when 100% of the supply is distributed or as close to it, you have a little bit more collector confidence. So I definitely think there will be a continued emphasis on scarcity around rookies and rookie collectibles. Obviously, with Wemby and Scoot and Chet, like it's one of the best draft classes in a long time, at least at the top end. Obviously, Rookie Revelation was really cool with draft footage and having that legendary rookie set, rookie debut being its own common limited edition set. So I definitely think there will be like a continued emphasis and focus on ensuring that rookies are collectible and are limited edition. And there are really cool rookie centric kind of like collectible activations for people to participate in. As far as which players we might work with or might partner with, like obviously no comment.
Yeah, we want Wemby's used socks as a redemption. I want to see the sock. We need it shows the cube opens up and it's his sweaty sock, and we get really excited. All right, well, let's see here. I know we got some packs to rip. Let's see. Is there anything else we want to talk about right now? Well, we do have. I feel like I might have asked you something like this the last time, where I had to give you a tough question about about giving something up. Hold on, what's it called again? I forget what it's called now. Oh, geez. Here we go. Genie's Wish. Here we go. All right. Brought to you by Topps Wooden Coins. PACKRIP Ewing, aka Sean. Here's your question. Will Smith appears behind you. He gives you an offer. He says, you are going to have to give up eating ice cream for an entire year. I think last time it was pizza. You're going to have to give up ice cream for an entire year. In return, the Knicks make the Eastern Conference Finals, but no guarantees what happens after that. No ice cream for a year. Do you take the deal?
All right. For starters, I do not acknowledge the Disney remakes of Aladdin or any of their movies. So if we're talking about a genie granting me a wish, I will kind of kindly request that we use the original Aladdin animated genie. Secondarily, man, I need to lose some weight. Like, as you get older, your body just like, it's like, oh, you ate pizza and ice cream today? Like, bad choice. And like, my large t-shirts are now like, need to be extra large t-shirts. And, like, I definitely need to lay off the unhealthy shit. And, if the beauty of being like a New York sports fan, for the most part, really a sports fan for like 99% of teams, is that it's just inevitably a painful and miserable experience. Right? Only one team could win a year. Yeah. I do think that the Knicks could make the Eastern Conference Finals without me giving up ice cream, but I also think that it would probably be in my best interest to not eat ice cream for a year, and in the best interest of my family and my general health and well-being. And if doing so ensured that the Knicks could make that deep of a run, the joy that would give me on a weekly basis, the amount of trash that I could talk and then inevitably get shoved in my face when they lose in the finals, I would 100% give up the ice cream for the Knicks. Yes.
Wow. All right, you made it. You got a little serious on me there. But anyway, that's interesting. I thought a ice cream aficionado as yourself would be like, hell no. I think that's what it was with the pizza. So maybe I should ask you pizza. But anyway, fair enough. You're going to eat the Tom Brady avocado ice cream for the next year. And in return, you get to see the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals, even though they're going to get swept by the Celtics. But listen, that's it for another day.
I mean, listen.
I don't know, the Celtics didn't play that well either. But anyway, all right. Well, why don't we start ripping some packs?
Let's rip packs while you prepare the packs to rip. I think we could do some like official predictions so people could shove them in my face.
Yeah.
A year from now, I'm gonna go Bucks over Nuggets in the NBA Finals.
Okay, that's safe.
Okay, I'm gonna go Chet Rookie of the Year.
Okay,
and I'm gonna go Thunder making it to the Western Conference Finals and losing to the Nuggets.
Wow. That's pretty, I mean, that's not that crazy. I mean, especially if Chet's Rookie of the Year. I mean,
and Celtics first round exit.
First round exit. Wow.
Yeah.
that's some fighting words right there. All right. Well, I like it. We like hot takes here. All right. So here's what we're going to do. If you want to rip a pack, we're not going to know what pack you're going to rip just yet. That's the fun of this, but it's going to be among the 3 packs. Because if you remember in the beginning, the Tipoff XL is going to go to someone who comments under the YouTube video, which you'll be able to do once this video is published. So if you're here watching live, as soon as the video is over, you can go ahead and comment, say something interesting. I don't know. But what you're going to do right now is type in #community, and that is going to get you on the giveaway. So let's see. We're going to share screen. Where is it? There it is. #community is going to get you on the giveaway. And then we're going to spin the wheel of names so we'll know which pack you're going to open up. and then you will get the entirety of that pack. So that's pretty exciting. So here we go. Hashtag community. Now we get to see all the lurkers come out. Hello, lurkers. How are you? Nice to see you.
Wow. So many lurkers.
Isn't
Holy
that fun?
shit.
See, maybe
No,
that was the
now that wait, with so many people here, should we give away some more stuff, Tandy? Should I like dig into the archives?
Hey, if you'd like to do so, I will not stop you.
All right. I'll let you give the people the choice of what they could get as a little bonus pack rip giveaway from the Top Shot war chest of fun stuff. No Sour Patch Kids, unfortunately, for the children in the room. Gold basketball,
okay,
or autographed Harrison Barnes jersey.
All right. So how do we get? I need like a poll somehow. Hold on. Let me get on YouTube and I'll make the poll. So let me go.
Does your fancy StreamYard technology not have polling?
I know it doesn't. So let's see here. I'm gonna go on YouTube. That's where I gotta do it, and then I'm gonna make a poll. Let me just try to figure this out here. Did they change this? Okay, here's the poll. All right. What would you prefer? There we go.
See, it's nice for me to catch you off guard a little bit too in this whole.
I know.
Yeah.
Harrison Barnes signed jersey. So gold NBA Top Shot ball. Gold Top Shot ball, basketball. Or Harrison Barnes signed jersey. So here we go. That poll should be showing up now. We'll let that run a little bit. So we have a lot of things to do now. You're going to do hashtag community to get yourself in there. Make sure you are liked and subscribed, of course. You have to be subscribed to comment. So I know you're subscribed, but make sure you like the stream. Give it some love. And meanwhile, I will share the wheel of names for the pack, I should say. So now you're seeing the pack. This is going to be the first pack. So first we're going to see whoever wins is going to rip this particular pack. So let's see which pack it's going to be. All right. It's the Throwdowns Series 2 is the first pack. Congratulations to the Throwdown Series 2 pack. And now we are going to see who is going to rip that pack. I want to just remind the people that are lurking, because there's 43 entries and there's 59 people lurking, and we have one guy on Twitch. I always love having one guy on Twitch.
You're on Twitch?
I just stream it everywhere. It's on Twitter, it's on Twitch, it's on YouTube, and there's always one guy, zero or one guy on Twitch. So there we go. So we'll give you guys a couple more minutes to just get that in there. I wonder if there's any other burning questions I could ask PACKRIP. Let's see.
Literally or figuratively?
Maybe literally. Here's a question for you, actually, just overall. I know that back in the day, or maybe still, you were very engaged with like the NFT community in general. You had your eye on like what NFTs were getting traction. You would speculate a whole lot on NFTs. Now, obviously, you've seen what's happened in like the last year. I'm just curious about your perspective about NFTs in general. So like, we're not talking about Top Shot here. This is NFTs in general. Top Shot is one piece of that conversation.
Yeah.
But like, you are someone who is really deep into that. And like, how has that adjusted over the last year, or just where's your head at in terms of like what's going on in the NFT community in general?
I mean, frankly, I'm just as curious as you are. I mean, like, I am spending the vast majority of my time these days, like, on Top Shot or on family stuff. But like, man, I'll like pop into the Discords that I would be in, and I'd be like, are there any random profile pictures that I could buy tonight? Like, is there anything new going on? And like, whether it'll go up or whether it'll go down, like, I don't even care. Like, are there new projects? And like, I don't know, man. The past few months have been pretty quiet. I don't know where all the ETH wallets went, but I definitely think that a lot of the hype and hysteria has faded a bit. I definitely think that, like, I mean, there were some new projects that were pretty cool earlier in the year, and I don't think that I've seen, like, I haven't probably bought like an ETH NFT project that's like a brand new thing that dropped in like 3 or 4 months. And that's not for a lack of trying. Like, I'll still like, the routine that I had, more or less, because at the end of the day, I am like a degenerate in many ways. It was like, it's Friday night, wife's asleep, kids asleep, have some wine, go on OpenSea, and like, or I see tools and just like, what's trending? What can I like buy tonight and then wake up tomorrow morning and like be up or be down, and then like, or just hold forever because nobody will ever want it. And like, those things don't even exist anymore, man. Like, I can't even find the thing to buy when I'm drunk on OpenSea, which is a bummer. So
Yeah.
I hope that some cool projects drop, whether it's purely for the fun of speculating on their long-term or short-term success, or for the fun of like actually collecting like a really cool project that does something innovative and interesting and forms a real community and like makes us all believe in like the excitement of that again. But like, it's been pretty quiet, I gotta be honest.
Yeah, absolutely it has. All right. Well, Boston Base has had enough. So let's see who is going to rip the Throwdowns S2 pack. Here we go. Round and round it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. Matt Roth. There you go. Matt
Oh,
Roth.
wow.
Matt Roth, you are our lucky winner for the first of 3 packs. So don't close out of your YouTube browsers just yet. You what's the word? I forget.
The king of cardio.
Yeah, the king of cardio is here, and this is the king of cardio's pack. So here we go. Let's see what you got. Let's get some tunes on here. Let's get some tunes that aren't gonna mute my video later. I don't know, something interesting. How about this one?
Tandy, please play only the finest hip-hop tunes, okay? If I hear a classic rock tune tied to this pack, I will revolt.
All right, this one's the closest thing I have. Sort of like a dramatic. I think there's a little beat that comes in, but
Quite
here we
dramatic.
go. Yeah, a little dramatic. Here we go. Here's for the king of cardio. He's on his Stairmaster right now. All right, here we go. There you go. We got a Luca. My browser's all funky. All right, there you go. The serial's 17,000.
Nice Luca. Nice classic Series 3 base set common Luca. Nothing like it.
A rookie moment.
Is that a Celtic? A rookie Celtic?
Let's see what it is. There it is. It's Peyton Pritchard.
Ah, Peyton Pritchard.
Right. He should see some increased playing time, I think, this year.
You're right, Kraken. I'm sorry.
There we go. 11,000 Brandon Ingram. There's your Knicks. There's Emmanuel Quickly.
I have many of those.
Yep. Here's your Throwdown.
Miles Bridges.
Terry Rozier.
Terry Rozier.
There you go. Now, nice serial. 229. Terry Rozier. There you go. So there's Kings of Cardio.
Congratulations, sir.
Throwdown S2 is Kings of Cardio. Write that down. Okay, we close it out with a Clint Capella. All right, so there we go. We will go back now to this tab, and we will turn off the music, and then we will go check on everyone. How's everyone doing in the chat? Are we upset? Are we happy? All right. Let's see.
A lot of gratitude.
That's
see a lot
good.
of gratitude and positivity. Yeah, no negativity whatsoever.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, how nice. That deserves a community drop. Here we go, because everyone's being so sweet and kind.
We love the community.
Here's a question for you, Sean, is that I know in the past you talked about going to, what was it, the Golden Globes? Is that what you go to? The Emmys? Which one you go to?
The Oscars. The Academy
Oscars.
Awards, my friend.
Are you still doing that?
I could if I wanted to.
Have you given up on it? You've had enough? You've had enough?
I've been 5 times. I've been 5 times. So like at a certain point, you've walked the red carpet and like met enough celebrities and kind of like done it.
Right.
It's also kind of like of all of the opportunities I would have to fly to Los Angeles with or without my family. Like when you've done it 5 times, is that really where you want to like spend your vacation and like free time capital?
Right.
I'm sure there will be an Oscars trip in the future. My cousin, who works for the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences and their PR department, recently got promoted. Congratulations to her. So those tickets are not going away anytime soon, but maybe spread the wealth with other members of the family who have never had that experience before. Maybe we'll throw those tickets in a redemption pack around
Yeah,
also,
that's a good
you know?
idea. I actually have one follow-up question there, which is when I see people talk about meeting, like, I guess specifically female celebrities, they always say that they look like aliens, like they're so out of this world. They don't look like normal human beings. Like someone was talking about seeing Alicia Keys. I think it was Bill Burr once, and he saw like Alicia Keys, and he said like, you've never seen someone that looks like that before. Like the level of like perfection, such a beautiful specimen. Are you taken aback when you see these celebrities at these shows?
Yeah, absolutely. So literally, I was like 23, and like, I'm like a shy, very like nervous person around many people, especially beautiful women. And I was in the front row of the Oscars, sitting next to Mila Kunis and Natalie Portman the year that they were nominated for Black Swan, and that was like, what the hell is going on? Like, and Mila Kunis was like talking to me. She's like, "Who do you think's going to win this award?" I was like, this shouldn't be happening right now. I shouldn't be here. And like, notably that year was when Jennifer Lawrence was nominated for Winter Bone, and that's like her first movie. And she was wearing this like red dress on the red carpet, and everyone's like, "Who the hell is this like gorgeous young actress?" And she was literally like over my back left shoulder, like behind me. And I was probably like looking at her every 5 seconds. I have to be honest, like, love Jennifer Lawrence, very big fan of hers, and to like, yes, to be in the presence of those people in real life, they are quite beautiful and stunning. And yeah, you would be very awkward and uncomfortable around them and awestruck by their beauty for sure.
All right, that's what I was looking for.
Can confirm.
All right, let's see what the next pack is. Here we go. Remember, #community. If you are not in the pack drawing, like and subscribe, of course. Is it going to be a Throwdowns? It is going to be the Throwdowns pack. Throwdowns Series 3. And now let's go look at whose pack this is going to be. We're going to see. That's right there.
Now, Tandy,
yeah.
You got my DM about who we should make sure wins this pack, right?
Yes, of course. The finger is on the scale. Right. Don't worry. Yeah, let's see who's winner. All right, let me just hack this real quick. There we go. Jordan Santaga with 2 babies.
Congratulations, Jordan.
2 babies. There you go. All right, that must be a handful. Are those twins? Let me take a closer look at that.
Tandy, you're a new father, right? How is that going for you?
Oh, it's great. I mean, it's great. She's amazing. It's my baby daughter. She's incredible. But she doesn't sleep, so that's been hard. But other than that, it's been wonderful.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
All right. Okay, so let's get Jordan Santanga's pack ready. So Jordan, I'm gonna need to know what your Top Shot name is. So put it in the chat. I'll try to find it at some point. So let's go. Let's share this tab. Let's get this going. Okay.
Some big hits.
Here we go. We want some big hits. Let's get another song going.
We got a LeBron Throwdown in there, maybe? Or Luka, Tatum.
Those would be great. Here we go.
Nice.
Okay, Jordan Santanga. Here we go. Let's see what you get. All right, here's Jordan's pack. Oh, we're going big right away. Is that a Wiseman?
So big. Championship year.
There you go. Aaron Wiggins. There's your moment.
Andrew Wiggins Throwdown. That's a good one. Okay. Nice.
There you go.
802 8 17. All right. This music is quite sensual, Muffin Man. You're right. I'm like definitely in a little bit of rhythm right now.
This is like the generic one that comes with StreamYard. There's Naz Reid.
Zakarian's here. Mike, as an aside, I was so impressed by the 3-point shooting display that you shared on Twitter that I am now afraid and ashamed to share any videos of me playing basketball. I think you made like like 20 threes in a row. That was like truly epic. There were no edits. That was just very impressive. Kudos to Mike Zakarian on being quite a good 3-point shooter.
Kudos
Good at many things,
indeed.
but that video was very impressive.
All right, so Jordan Santanga, there you go. You got your Andrew Riggins rare moment. Let me just stop this music real quick. So Jordan Santanga, I'm gonna need your name. Okay, so there you go. Mike Zakarian is also good at getting Jordan Santanga's name. So
Man of the people.
J Santaga 10. All right, that's the throwdowns 3. So that leaves, we have the, let's go see if people want the basketball or if people want the jersey.
Yeah, let's check.
We have 61 votes. It's a pretty close poll. It's 45% basketball, 55% jersey. So if you haven't voted yet on the YouTube page, go ahead and do that. But I think that's probably all the people because that's like everyone in the room. So it looks like it's going to be the jersey.
Okay, let's do it.
So we'll do the jersey and then we'll do the run it backpack. How's that?
Let's do it.
Here we go.
Love it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Share this tab. I know we got some Kings fans here.
There's got to be a Kings fan here, right?
Yeah.
Is anyone here a Kings fan?
There must be a couple of them.
Does Poker Pro Eric like the Kings?
I don't know if he does. Here we go. Who's it going to be?
Tony
Van
Kornheiser's
City.
here? Holy shit.
Tony
Kornheiser's here.
Van City Springer. There you go. Van City Springer. So how's this going to work, Sean?
They will DM you.
Okay.
And then, or no, well, Van City Springer, are you on Twitter or Discord? You could reach out to me perhaps, and we could arrange for it to be shipped.
Okay. So there you go. You get a Harrison Barnes signed jersey, Van City Springer. Mike Zakarian, if you know his shipping information, just throw it in the chat. All right. So let's now we are now drawing. It's nice. We could keep this nice and dramatic, like a good Oscar ceremony. It's the picture of the year. It's the Run It backpack. There's some big hits in that pack, some not as big hits, but let's hope we get a big hit. Here we go. Who is going to be ripping the Run It Back 2005 pack? DeCloak underscore. There you go. DeCloak underscore. New face.
Congratulations, DeCloak. Let's go.
Let's see. Is this another person with a child? It looks like it. There you go. Another father or mother. I'm not sure, but let's go ahead.
Proud parents are OnlyTans.
Yeah. A lot of parents in this chat. Let's get some other music. Let's see what we got in here. That's a nice one.
I dig it.
All right.
It's good. Yeah.
All right. I clicked the wrong link. Hold on. All right. Here we go. All right, DeCloak. Best of luck on your pack.
I'm pumped to rip one of these packs. It's been a minute since the Run It backpack.
Has been a while.
First time watcher, DeCloak. You love that. 1 for 1.
There we go, DeCloak. I hope you like the stream as well. Here we go. It's a special one right away.
Ben Wallace?
Chauncey
Billups.
Oh, a nice cereal. A nice clean 100.
100. Clean. Number 1 jersey, 100 cereal. That is clean.
All right, DeCloak. Hopefully you're a Pistons fan. See if we can get anything else special in here. There's your Ben Wallace.
Wow, Pistons pack. Was this supposed to go to Kraken?
Yeah. Interesting cereal as well. 80-80. I don't know if that means anything to a Pistons fan. Oh, we got a rookie moment here. It's Hakeem Warwick.
Syracuse Orangeman great.
Celtics? No. Andrew Bogut. I used him in my hoops grid the other day.
That team is hard.
It is hard. All right, then you got Richard Jefferson. So congratulations, DeCloak. Nice. All right, so there we go. Let's turn off the music. DeCloak, I need your Top Shot username. Okay, so Are there any other questions that we should ask our friend here, PACKRIP Ewing, while he's in the chat? Let me look at my notes.
Oh, I mean, that's a dangerous invitation to give the community. I think we could wrap it up.
Well, I'll ask you one more thing then, which is about the anthology packs, the anthology moment. So those have been very interesting, very cool. What can you tell me about what's upcoming in the anthology packs? Can you share anything? I know that in the newsletter it said something was coming up with some players we haven't seen yet. Is that right? Or was it like? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, the next drop is going to be August 8th, and that'll be the Series 1 trade ticket packs, 40 trade tickets apiece. Looking forward to sharing some more details around that tonight or tomorrow. Give people a chance to accumulate their trade tickets. And after that, we'll go back in time a little bit and we'll have some fun. Can't reveal any details here, as you can imagine, but I think it'll be a good time.
Okay. Actually, I wanted to ask you one other thing. Was on these burn boards, the most recent burn boards, it was like top 75, rookies of the year, MVPs. Have there been thoughts of expanding that a bit so that people who are holding stuff that they don't want anymore and are not those players will have an opportunity?
Yeah, I think that there will be a lot of different flavors and variations of those in the future for sure. I think in general, like, they might skew towards better players, but I think that there will be opportunities across the board.
Cool. All right. Well, I think that just about covers it. We're at like an hour 15. I think I'll let you get back to the family. You still took me for a loop that you are willing to not eat ice cream for a year. I wasn't expecting that one, but
here's what we're going to do, Tandy.
Yeah.
Starting tomorrow, I'm not going to eat ice cream for a year.
Oh my God.
And we're going to find out, if the Knicks make it, and we just conjured that on this stream. And then a year from now, when the Knicks have lost in the NBA Finals, we could be like, holy shit, I did it. I'm 100% responsible for that. And it's purely because I decided to be more healthy.
Wow. But so, what if you just tone it? What if you tone it down though? What if you just tone it down a little bit? What if instead of not eating ice cream, you eat it like once a month or once every 2 weeks? I don't want to be the reason you don't eat ice cream anymore. I don't think I'll be able to sleep at night.
You know what? There are plenty of other ways to find happiness in life or drown your sorrows in unhealthy food. And I think we've established a precedent here on this stream, live in front of 60 or so OnlyTans and passionate Top Shot collectors, that if I don't do it, a good thing will happen for me and other Knicks fans. And ultimately, more than anything, this is a sacrifice for all of the Knicks fans in the Top Shot community, more than it's a prideful thing for myself. And I should be congratulated for making such a sacrifice on behalf of all Knicks fans. So thank you in advance.
I'm personally pretty blown away by this. But anyways, I guess we'll follow up in a year. You tell us how that avocado ice cream is going when the Knicks are our NBA champions. And on behalf of the OnlyTans in the chat, thank you, PACKRIP, aka Sean. This has been a really a rich conversation, and appreciate you making the time.
It's been a pleasure. Congratulations on 2 years. Congratulations on everything. Hashtag not an ad. Really, really proud of you, and keep it up, and maybe we'll do it again next year on this day after 1 year anniversary of the Knicks not winning the NBA championship.
Awesome. All right. Well, on behalf of PACKRIP, thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Static Selector.